Hi, welcome to your monthly tarot forecast for December 2023. Let's get started by getting grounded. So, if you're in a place where you are safe and you can either close your eyes or just lower them down and take a few deep breaths with me in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. One more. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. And I invite you to set an intention for this reading today. What are you hoping to receive out of it? Let's get started. So we are currently in Sagittarius season, but we will be moving into Capricorn season, which is the CEO of the zodiacs. He's kind of like the boss, the boss's boss, the boss's boss's boss, right? That might be you. Let's see what we're dealing with. We're going to take a look at the energy that we're leaving behind and moving towards. Let's see what the theme of the month is. We'll see what opportunities are coming up, what we might need to release, any challenges, and some advice on how to move through them. All right, here we go. What energy are we leaving behind this month? Okay, great. So we've got the world and we've got it in reverse, which means that, even essentially this means that we're almost to the end. It has felt like we're almost there for quite a while. Maybe things are kind of wrapping up for you. Going into December, the end of the year, the world is the last card of the tarot deck. So once we hit the world, we start all over again, right? So it's really interesting that this is coming up for our December reading because it's almost like, yes, we are almost there. And that almost there is really great because once we can kind of flip this around, then we're actually there, right? So we're kind of leaving behind this energy of things feeling unfinished. So, what is it that is almost finished that you are focusing on wrapping up this month, or that you can focus on wrapping up this month so that you can really celebrate what it is that you have been working towards for so long? Okay. What energy are we moving towards this month? The Empress, which is great. Empress is a card of nurturing others. She's the mother of the tarot deck. So just think of, she's the one that brings things to life, that brings things out into the world. She is a creator. She is abundant in creativity and in resources and in love. So as you're looking at what needs to be finished, tap into this energy of the Empress, of the nurturing of something, right? It could be something that maybe feels a little stuck for you, that you're like, I haven't quite figured out what it is to get this over that last kind of bump, to get it into completion and ready for 2024. It may take a little more of that heart chakra work. Right? We've got our green trees in the back, the heart chakra. The color of the heart chakra is green. We've got green under the blanket under her as well. But notice she's not struggling through trying to finish this project up. She's taking a different route. She's not forcing it into coming into creation. She's really nurturing it and loving it into creation. Think about like when women are like, making a baby for 9 months, right? And the baby continues to grow. The most important things that moms can do, right, are nourish themselves well, are making sure that they're getting enough movement, enough rest, right? It's really finding a lot of that balance and showing that love to that unborn baby, that project that really needs that nurturing. So, what is it that you need to be nurturing over this last month? It could be that you put something on the back burner when it was just almost ready to be done, right? What are those pieces that you need to be putting together in order for it to be in completion? And really showing it that final, like that push of care that it needs to come out. What is the overall theme of the month? Okay. Ace of Wands in reverse. Again, we've got this kind of like the lack of clarity. The Ace of Wands is about kind of that lack of clarity, feeling a little bit drained, right? So the Ace of Wands is kind of like life force energy. When we see it in reverse, it could be that things just we're tired, right? We've come to the end of the year. We have this final project to get out, and we just don't have the energy to get there. And maybe we're not even super clear on how it is we're going to get there. So this month, if you're feeling if you're feeling a little tired, just again, nourish yourself and nourish your work as much as you possibly can. This is the divine feminine energy, not the masculine energy, right? Masculine is go, go, go until you reach burnout. That's probably how we got here, right? It's like Q4 can be a little crazy when you have your own business, especially if you're doing any like Black Friday sales or specials, right? It can feel like we finally get to the end of the year. We start wintering, right? The leaves fall off the tree, and we really want to kind of fall with them and start to go more inward. And that's where the divine feminine energy has to come into play. It's not forcing things into being, it's allowing, it's nurturing them to naturally come about. Right? So it may be that what we need here is how can you nurture, right? Wands is also inspiration. How can you nurture that connection to where your inspiration is coming from? Now, inspiration, I believe, comes from spirit. So, how can you nurture your relationship with that which is greater so that you can gain some clarity on how to be moving forward? Okay, how can you nurture that connection? How can you nurture your creativity, your inspiration, your energy in order to finish the month and come to that, that completion stage? What opportunities for growth are coming this month? Yeah, perfect. Ace of Cups, just how we've been talking about, is about, taking care of oneself and being open to the love and inspiration from the universe. So just as we were talking about how right now, we may be feeling a little bit drained, a little uninspired, what we need to tap into is some of that love and self-care that the universe can show us, right? Again, coming at it from cups is all about our emotions, right? Our emotional state. And the Empress, right? Again, that nurturing atmosphere. How can we move through it a little bit more gracefully? How can you start to open up to receive the inspiration that you need? So if it's a routine that you've fallen out of, it's a good time to get back into that. If it's extra sleep that you need, that's a good time to get back into that. Figure out what it is that you need so your cup is overflow here. And so you can get the inspiration to finish this year, to finish that project that's been hanging out there. So you will have opportunities this month to start focusing more on filling your own cup. Now, when we talk about growth, growth can be uncomfortable, right? Sometimes growth doesn't feel great, and we can have growing pains. That's where that comes from. So it may mean that there are things we need to let go of in order to invite in the inspiration and the nurturing that we're looking for. So what do we need to release this month? Okay, Six of Cups. So, Six of Cups is about nostalgia. It's about family. It can be brothers and sisters here. And as we move into the end of the year and there's the holidays coming up, if you celebrate or whatever it is that you celebrate, even if it's just New Year's, right? A lot of those old memories can start to come up. Now, I personally work with, I've got grief that comes up for me over the holidays, and that's something that I continue to work through every year. And so I do invite you to take a look at what are those things that are coming up for you over the course of the year that you need to kind of work on and let go of. Now, this isn't saying grief. This is more just saying nostalgia, how things used to be, right? And so you get to decide if that's helping you or if that's not helping you. Now, since this is our release card, it's probably something that you need to let go of. So catch yourself when you start saying, well, that's not how we used to do it, or we usually do it a different way, right? Is there some comparison happening with other people that are coming up? Remember to be nice to those that are around you. Give someone a bone, especially if they're working really hard and they're trying to do good things. You may be stuck in a bit of a negative mindset as you are going through, well, this isn't how we used to do it, and I wish we could do it, a bit differently. Know that that's okay and that you're allowed to feel that way, but not at the expense of hurting other people's feelings. Okay, so just watch when those thoughts about family and how things used to be and anything around like brothers and sisters that start to come up over the course of this month. Okay, what challenges may come up this month? Yeah, okay. The High Priestess reverse, we may be disconnected from our intuition, and that definitely makes sense as we saw with the Ace of Wands and our inspiration being low, right? And unclear about how to finish these projects, and our growth opportunity being self-care, right? Reconnecting to ourselves helps us reconnect to our intuition. Now, if you are very busy over this month and you've got a lot going on, it's really easy to focus more on external people and situations and activities and your to-do list that continues to get longer and longer. And we stop connecting in to what it is that we really need to be focusing on. Right? And so we become unclear about the path forward because our energy is out here instead of focusing in on what we need. So the High Priestess in reverse is telling you it's time to make sure that you're taking that time for yourself, that you're reconnecting to yourself in whatever way that feels best for you. It could be through meditation. It could be through journaling. It could be through watching these tarot videos and then actually taking action on them. Okay, it's always great to, ingest content, but it really just becomes super overwhelming for ourselves and our brains if we're not taking action on what it is that we're learning, right? So what is it that you need to do to make sure that you continue to connect to yourself and your intuition in order to make sure that you're gaining the clarity that you need and you're taking care of yourself in a really positive way this month? See if there's anything else. Yeah. Ace of Pentacles in reverse, right? There could be, again, we've got two aces here. Something that you're working on that isn't quite ready to come out yet, right? You may be, again, unclear about how to move forward. So these are, feeling disconnected, being unclear, not feeling ready to move on to the next, phase in your business, taking that project and turning it into reality. Maybe you've kind of got it planned out, but now it's time to put it into action and you're stalling, right? That could be something that's definitely coming up in order to make the aces. The aces are potential. They are potential ideas, potential opportunities. It is up to you to take action on them and to turn them into something tangible. Okay. That's where the magician information comes through, right? But the energy that we want to be using this month to do that, because we are feeling drained, we are feeling super tired this month, is not to force it. You can't force your intuition to start working. You can't force yourself to have great ideas. You have to make space. You have to allow, right? And you have to come out of it from a sense of purpose, from love, and from a mindset of abundance, right? So if we can come at things from there are an unlimited number of opportunities for me, there's an unlimited number of ways for me to create revenue in my business, there's an unlimited number of ways for me to turn my inspiration into something that benefits other people. Then we can start to connect to our intuition, start to fill in some of our self-care gaps, and start to turn some of this stuff around a little bit. But there is a feeling of just feeling drained and starting to want to kind of turn inwards on ourselves at this time of year, which, that is the time of year we are moving into winter, where we are becoming more introspective. And that's okay, right? Use that energy to reconnect to your intuition, to connect to the high priestess. Okay, advice on how to move forward. Okay. Yep. So we talked a little bit earlier about routines, and the using the divine feminine energy over the masculine. Now, what we're seeing in the Emperor is actually the masculine energy. And so we talked about, what is it in the self-care realm that you need to be doing a little bit more of? The Emperor energy is the divine masculine, where the Empress energy starts to allow, right, to create, to be abundant. The Emperor sets up the structures that allow us to do that. So think about, okay, if I'm going to need to take some time alone to connect to my intuition, to cultivate my inspiration, what is it that I need to set up in my day that allows me to do that? Maybe I need to get up a little bit earlier so I have 15 minutes of quiet time. Maybe I block off an hour on my calendar to make sure that I have time to decompress before I get into my creative projects. Maybe I need just to get organized and create a really long to-do list so I get everything out of my head so I can create space and allow the inspiration to come out, right? The Emperor is about routines and structure. So finding that structure that allows you to welcome in the space to bring about all of the inspiration and the connection to finish the projects that you're working on this month. See if there's anything else. Yep. And it's really just about, okay, this is separate. As you are working through finishing stuff up, advice on how to move through them. Don't get stuck in the perfectionist attitude. Okay. So the Eight of Pentacles is about work. It's about mastering your trade. But the downside of that is we can get really into like the teeny tiny details and thinking like this is never good enough. This is never good enough. This is never good enough. And that's where we get stuck and it's never finished and we never launch it. It never begins because we keep telling ourselves that it's not perfect yet. So again, watch for those thoughts as they come up this month. It's not perfect. I need to work a little harder. I need to do a little bit better. I need to take one more class before I get started. Watch for some of those thoughts that can creep in because they can create a lot of doubt for you as well. And when you're starting to doubt yourself, what happens is that you also disconnect from your intuition, right? Intuition needs to be cultivated. Inspiration needs to be cultivated, right? Through that Empress energy. Okay, well, I hope that was helpful for you. If you would like some more personalized guidance, you are always welcome to book your own tarot reading. Again, this is Kristen from Align the Stars, and have a great December.